Welcome back, everyone, to another and final episode of C3 Live at 5. We will be moving our podcast to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we will be hoping to release them around 10 to 11 o'clock on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That is 10 to 11 a.m. Pacific time, which would be 2 o'clock Eastern, 2 to 3 o'clock Eastern time. So anyways, stay tuned next week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we'll be giving you guys market updates and overviews and what is good in the metaverse. But tonight, in good fashion, we thought we'd show up a couple minutes after 5 and give us our final live at 5. So what is going on in the market? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how Bitcoin fell below 40K. We're going to talk about how Luna and XRP are battling out in market cap. We're going to talk about how Luna and XRP continue to show up in all of our quant programs and AIs. And we're also going to talk about how long this bloodshed may or may not go on. So if that sounds interesting to you, you're in the right spot. Kick back, relax. Let's dive right in. All right, so we got BTC over here on Coin360, and we have been looking at volume for the week. And this is proportionately squared. And you can see we have some nice green squares over here. One of those green squares would be Luna at 82.98, still up 13.48% on the week. BTC's down 0.7% on the week. But let's go ahead and get out of this big screen so we can really talk about what's going on in the market. We'll come over here and look at boom. We are just getting a little knotted up. Let's go ahead and look at we lost a page. My apologies. So let's go ahead and look at how things have been performing in our top performers and bottom performers for the week. In market cap, we can see that Ethereum has down 5% for the week. We can see BNB's down almost a full percent. XRP's down 7.45%. Cardano's down 6.8%. Solano's down 5.5%. AVAX Avalanche is down 7.5%, and Dogecoin is down 4%. So a little bit of bloodshed out there, but let's go ahead and get into the news because we've got a lot of charts for you guys coming up. So over on Cointelegraph, we can see the latest news. Ukraine finds unlikely ally in efforts to bar Russian access to crypto. The Central Bank of Russia, CEX's refuse blanket asset freeze of all Russian users, though questions linger. So this talks about if Western sanctions ramp up, CEXs may be forced to ban all Russian users from using their services, as they have previously done in Iran. And CEXs, for those of you that don't know, are centralized exchanges. So Russian national will use sales of her burning passport NFT to support Ukraine. NFT artist Olive Allen said by publicly burning her Russian passport, she was effectively making it dangerous to repatriate by protesting the current government. Finance Redefined Uniswap builds token swap feature for Ukraine. Luna surpasses Ether and more. So that's one topic we'll be going into, not quite that article, but Manchester soccer rivalries comments in field of Web3. Cointelegraph partners with Nitro Network to bring digital mining and decentralized internet to the masses. Korean blockchain experts seek the government's help for digital asset market. Google Trends data reveals that no one cares about the metaverse or NFTs in 2022. So search interest for keywords metaverse and NFT have continued to drop since the start of the year. Very interesting article. I think that people are just a little bit distracted with the geopolitical tensions going on. Anyways, moving on. Bitcoin mining difficulty drops for the first time of the year. The difficulty adjustment for Bitcoin mining posted its first negative adjustment for 2021, dropping 1.5%. The Sandbox Metaverse hits 2 million users, begins K-pop partnership, city building startup Praxis secure 15 million in funding. And here's the article we're going to be diving into, ladies and gentlemen. Luna flips Ethereum because second largest network for staked value. So let's go ahead and take a look at what this article says. This is by Brian Quarmby, and it was posted 19 hours ago on Cointelegraph.com. The article title is Luna flips Ethereum, becoming second largest network for staked value. The data shows that there are currently 226,000 stakers accounting for $29.5 billion worth of locked up Luna. This is propelling the network into second place for staked value. According to the data from staking rewards, Luna has flipped Ethereum in terms of staked value, with 29.5 billion worth of Luna locked up compared to Ethereum's 25.9. For those of you that are unfamiliar with staking, what that means is people that hold Luna have agreed to lock up for an extended period of time, therefore secure and stabilize that asset and show stability in the long term. And to really summarize what that means is there's $30 billion of Luna that has been agreed to not be sold, whereas there's only $25.9 billion of Ethereum that people are willing to agree not to sell. So in a really simplified, archaic, poor analogy, that's kind of the way it would be best said. The other interesting fact over here is that the platform data shows that there's currently 226,000 Luna stakers. So that is opposed to Ethereum's 54,000 stakers. So it has almost 5 times as many stakers, over 4 times as many stakers as Ethereum. So that means that there's 4 times as many people that are willing to buy into or get behind Luna and lock up their asset for the long term in a long-term belief. So it's a fascinating concept, very bullish in my opinion, something that has my attention and why my eyes will be on Luna heavily for the next 3 months, most likely 3 weeks too. So what we're going to see is in terms of annual staking rewards, Luna's estimated 6.62 on average, while ETH only fetches a 4.8. Although Polkadot comes up with a 13.92. It's why this channel is also big fans of Polkadot. Fascinating article. Please read into it if this interests you. Just wanted to kind of give you guys a really quick overview on one of the many reasons why we are fascinated with Luna. So let's dive into the stock markets or the stonks, the legacies. Let's see what's going on. This looks just about as red as our charts look. We can see Microsoft's down 2%, Apple's down 1.84%, Google's down 1.63%, Amazon's down 1.5%. So all of our big favorite tech stocks are struggling. Tesla's down 0.12%. So you can kind of anticipate that this fear is across all of our markets everywhere. So let's go ahead and dive into the charts and see what does that look like. We're going to start with total market cap. So we're looking at total market cap on 10-day candles. You guys know I like the long time frame, especially when we're dealing with this fear and news and uncertainty. I want to know what my indicators and what my chart says for the long term. That's always going to be louder than what we're hearing today. So anyways, on the 10-day candles, we can see that it is not looking fantastic according to our indicators with Market Cipher, as well as the Stochastic RSI, Market Cipher B, A, and DBSI. When you have a 12 over a -4, that is no bueno. You want to slide down to the lower time frames, and I believe our 3-day candles just printed. So this candle printed an hour ago. So this is the most relevant large time frame that we have available. And this is what I like to pay attention to. You can see we have an 8 over a 0. We're coming from a -3 over a 13, which is a bullish candle. So I would anticipate downward movement for the next 2 days and 23 hours. So the next 3 days, I would be anticipating some pretty good sale opportunities. And also, if you guys have been with us for a minute, we've been calling this $1.55 trillion range to be retested for total market cap. We've stayed in this channel, and I know if you guys have been watching this for a while, this is just mundane. You've heard this again and again, but let me zoom out and show our new viewers that we have been in this channel since the conception of crypto. Right here, March 1st, 2014, when we started charting all of crypto in one asset class, to today, we have respected this channel. So I do not anticipate us falling from it. I would be surprised if we did. Then again, I don't want to underestimate geopolitical tensions and what Russia and Ukraine may or may not influence to our markets. So anyways, let's stay positive and light and slide back down to the lower time frames, because we want to know what's going to happen tomorrow, because we all have instant gratification. And what I think is going to happen is we are going to continue to go downward. So let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. Sorry for all of this chart moving around. Those of you that are listening, you don't have to deal with the eyesore of these charts just swinging. And you see the day time frame looks just as ugly. Let's go ahead and bring in our market cipher B, and this indicator is no bueno as well. We just printed a sell dot on the day. We are diving downwards. The VWAP is heading in a downward direction. This is all bearish for the short term. Although the picture may sound bad, I still think in the next 2 weeks, come around March 15th, 16th, after the announcement of the Fed interest hike rate, that we will be looking at bullish territory. So I am looking at the next 2 weeks as brilliant opportunity to have some nice price points and nice entries on projects, and hopefully not be catching a falling knife. That is what I personally am looking at, and I will continue to improve that opinion as more news and information comes out. So we can go ahead and look at total 3 and look at why now is still not the time, in my opinion, to go picking anything up, although that time could be anywhere from 4 to 8 days away. Very exciting, what could be perceived as a possible bottom before an alt rally. So let's see what total 3 tells us when we look at the 3-day candle that just printed. This is no bueno as well. So what can we expect? We can expect total 3 to most likely come down and hit this box of liquidity at $550 billion. So what that would mean is that would drive the rest of the alt market downwards. You can see right here, we could expect somewhere of a 15% drawdown to retest. So about 15% of the market cap would depreciate to complete that move. As you can see over here, we generally recover in a healthy manner after coming and testing the bottom of this channel. So I look forward to us testing the bottom of this channel and then coming up and breaking out of 700 billion. Once we break past that, I will be looking at altcoins in very exciting mentality for upward momentum. So let's go ahead and look at the dollar, and the dollar has looked as strong as it gets. That is not good for those of us that are waiting on crypto. Let's go ahead and bring in market cipher as well. We like to see our numerical values. I'm getting the viewers used to this. We can see that we have a 7 under a -1, which is a bullish print numerically. We just had our 3 days, and that is an 11 under a -4. So I would anticipate the dollar to continue to strengthen, and this might be partially due to the ruble, the Russian ruble, weakening so much. So once again, a lot of variables influencing the market. This is wartime mentality dictating how people are thinking: short-term, long-term, survivalist, opportunist, pessimistic, optimistic. So a lot's going on in people's minds. I think this is a very volatile times. I think you should absolutely be cautious if you do anything. And my recommendation and what I am doing is nothing. I am observing and watching, looking for patterns, and doing nothing as of now. That being said, let's go ahead and look at the dollar versus yen. This is a very relative chart for those of us that are trading crypto as well, because this is pretty much the strength of two markets in an essence, and it has been trading downwards. So that is actually fairly good for crypto to some extent, but it is not looking fantastic. I would anticipate the dollar yen to recover fairly quickly, especially with all things considered. Now let's dive into everyone's favorite, Bitcoin. And everyone wants to know what to expect with Bitcoin on the daily chart. Well, if you guys tuned in the other day, we said I would be expecting us to fall below 42K. And sure enough, what did we do? We predicted that here, and we fell below 42K the following day. We have now currently fallen to struggle to hold 39. We are currently at 38,992, which is not a good look for Bitcoin. We'd like to show support. What we did is we came down and we tapped this pool of liquidity right here, just enough to touch it. Like that is almost comical how it didn't even go into it, just tapped it. And as you can see, and those of you listening, the wick on the March 4th, 2022 at 12 o'clock UTC Bitcoin candle taps the pool of liquidity at 38.59. So the question is, will they come back to it? Will they take the entire pool, and will they head down to bigger and better pools? So what would that look like? That would look like us falling below 38.2. If we fall below 38.2, then we have bigger problems. What would those problems be? Let's take a look. Those problems would come in on a chart like this, and we would see let me get rid of this unfortunate green scenario that we don't really want to think about. And what we can see here is the same picture. We have tapped the 38, and we will most likely come and take the rest of this liquidity and fall below to come and eat up the box of liquidity at 36.5 all the way down to 35.6. So that would be my anticipation for an ugly weekend. Be prepared for price point as low as 36. I know I really like the concept of 37, 38 if we show support. That's where I'd be looking at a short-term long or up rally. Not financial advice. This is personal opinions. Do your own research and your own homework. Anyways, also, if we do fail to show support at 35, I would be expecting 33K. So we posted another chart on our Twitter. Check us out at C3 Crypto LLC on Twitter. And we try to keep you guys updated on some of these projections as well. We've also given playouts of how this could easily go to 38K all the way down to $22,000 and still break above $100,000 before the end of the year. So I know a lot of the newcomers are really uncertain and feel a little FOMO and panic mode. And I just want you guys to know that this roller coaster is bumpy. It's volatile. It goes up and down, but it's still the ride is still going in our direction in the macro spectrum. So hang in there, hang on for a long time. Don't look that closely. Stay happy. Let's talk about altcoins because they're cooler. Now, Luna, what a fun project. You can see Luna right here. My apologies, I have Bitcoin up top and Luna on the bottom. And this is actually a great chart for you guys to be looking at. Look at comparatively what has been going on. As Bitcoin has been failing, Luna is been pumping. And let me try and line these candles up a little bit better for you. You guys can see right here, all right here, from February 21st to the end of the month to the 28th, Luna continued to just terrorize upwards. For those of you that are new to crypto, I mean, Luna Terra was just sitting at market cap number 9, January 28th of this year. We're talking it's been a month and 3 days, and they moved up 2 market caps, and they're looking at taking XRP's market cap. This is going to be really interesting times. They're popping up all over token metrics indices and our AIs for a reason. And so I want to be somebody that really emphasizes keep your eyes on Luna. Now, if we're keeping our eyes on Luna, you say, all right, Al, you got me to look at Luna. What am I looking at? Well, let's go ahead and see what kind of price points we would be looking at for Luna. And as you guys know, if you've been on the channel long enough, we're all about these boxes of liquidity. They seem to be consistently hit at least most of the time. So we like to try to aim for this direction. I know that I will be hoping that Luna will come down to the $57, $58 range sometime within the next 2 weeks. After that, I would anticipate Luna to terrorize itself all the way up to the 140 range within the next 3 to 4 months following. So I'm very excited to look at Luna. I'm not saying that now is the time, but I think it is near and soon. And I think that anything sub 60 is a pretty solid entry point, assuming that the entire market is not collapsing on us and we're going into a world war. So very excited about Luna. Check it out. The 12-hour candles look like it's going to start going on sale. That I'll be curious to see if it holds at 74. If it doesn't hold at 74, I will be salivating over my orders at 57 because I think that's a brilliant price point for a project that has already been past 102. So, I mean, this is 50% of a project that has $30 billion in locked up liquidity. So if we're going into a bear market, I feel comfortable holding Luna. That is one of those projects that I personally feel comfortable with. Speaking of projects that have been around a minute and starting to make a move, XRP, they've been all over the news. What is going on with XRP? So I have XRP and Terra Luna, and they both have been on a similar trajectory, both showing force. Luna a little bit more aggressive than XRP, but let me go ahead and pull up just XRP. So with just XRP on the stage, we can see that on day candles, it has been keeping this line of support or its trend line since March of last year. So the crash of last year where XRP fell to 13 cents, it's been on a pretty healthy trend line and continuing to stay support at 66 cents. So if XRP can stay at 66 cents or above, I'm bullish on it. If it fails to, my next target of XRP is going to be down here at 45 cents. And for those of you who are having a hard time seeing that, we'll put a nice big beautiful yellow bar there. So that's what I'm looking at XRP, especially over the next 2 weeks. Like I said, I anticipate we'll have 13 to 14 days of, possible clearance sales. It'll be like a garage sale for some really fun alts because people just gave up on them and they don't believe in them. So I think that the market normally turns around once everyone gives up on it and stops believing in it. So that's kind of why I'm starting to turn more and more bullish as the days move on. And so we want to be the channel that brings you guys that perspective, that mentality, that opinion, and also make sure that you guys know that is our perspective and our mentality and our opinion. And you should formulate your own. You should do your own research and do your own homework. That's why we offer you all of the tools that we use. We explain to you how we do what we do because we want you to be able to make your own opinions. This is nothing special. This is a fun game. We learned how to do it. It's been very rewarding, and we just want to share it with you guys. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed today's news. Ethereum, everyone likes it. I'm not that big of a fan. I think there's better ones out there, but it's a great project. It's a grandfather. It's a backbone as well. If we don't stay above 2,600, I think that 22 is its next stronghold, 22 to 24. So anyways, hopefully Ethereum stays above 2,600. I don't really chart it that much. For those of you, if you're really interested, leave some comments below. We'll chart it some more. And I think that that's going to be it for you guys. It was just a quick little overview on the news, on the market, some sentiment, some mentality. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you have questions, let us know. If you want to be involved in more active trading and signals, please check out our Telegram. Please check out our Twitter. We try to post daily in there. And thank you guys for joining us on our last live at 5. We really enjoyed it. It was a catchy tagline, but I think we're going to just have to move it to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday podcast episodes. So really appreciate having you guys on the ride. Thank you so much. I'm Al, C3, over and out.